Hello guys, there's something I'd really like to share with you guys, and that is the biggest downside of being a professional Go player. The biggest downside of being a pro is that all of my opponents are geniuses at the game. The players I play against are all at the top of their game. They often have had a lot of training, they're very talented, and they're all out for my blood on the Go board, so to speak. So my opponents are all very strong. They're geniuses, and that's the biggest downside, having to play with very tough opponents in all the tournaments that I play. And the last weekend, the New York State Championships tournament was no exception. This tournament, feel free to skip if you guys would not like to have the spoilers. This tournament, feel free to skip to the next section right now. Anyways, this tournament, very strong field as always. New York City has some of the toughest Go rankings in the North America. And at the end, it was a three-way tie for first. We all had 5 and 1, but with the SOS measurements, one player ended up winning. I placed second. As you guys can see here, the top 3 players, 5 and 1. Okay, and so here let's take a look at how the games went, and let's see exactly what kind of competition I have to contend with in all of the tournaments I play. As I said, worst part about being a pro is all my opponents are geniuses, and secondly, they all have they're all out to get me, so to speak. So anyways, I have all these games recorded. Many of these games were played at the top couple of boards. Many are exactly on board 1. And let's see, so the first game, my opponent played a very territorial opening. This is this specific opening, not responding to this 3-4 approach to the corner, is AI approved, and this move is like exactly AI approved. And if you guys are looking for Go opening theory, traditionally whenever the approach to the 3-4 corner is able to press down on the corner, it is almost always a do, and just grab it, turn off your brain and do it. Unfortunately, in this case, it's AI approved to not do that, and so I've been in this situation plenty of times to know this, of course. So I do play the AI approved move, and the following is almost exactly according to AI. We're gonna turn it on at the moment. Okay, including, this is a complicated Joseki black, ends with a ladder, and this approach to the black corner is a very nice ladder breaking move. And so here, typically it's the AI likes to suggest something very far away to keep this stone laddered. In this case, because locally there's a follow-up move here by white to really force black to play here, and that this move is also a very large move. The perfect move is here. For all those reasons, I decided to play just a simple capture here. And the next phase went for another ladder, and then this time because I need to make sure that the top Atari doesn't come into effect. For example, if I played here, white could Atari here, for example, and then get a humongous amount of territory. And the second ladder point, I also ended up capturing very put, like stay put. So both of these captures really slowed my opening down a little. Did not particularly enjoy this, but luckily I had something else up my sleeves. Of course, I was playing black. I had some harassment planned on the white corner. And of course, this other geniuses have done this to me, and so over time I have learned, and this is the extent of my knowledge about this particular joseki. As you guys may know, one particular set of josekis go like this, and then black captures. This is very, very even, and here sometimes black plays this move. Paradoxically, even though in this variation it looks like black loses more, at least 2 stones, and in the game 4 stones, this is actually a little better for black, even though white's corner is much bigger. And that's mostly because of these good harassment follow-up moves that we can do to the corner. Right now, this Hatari and another Tiger Mouse move is Sente. And this way black will lose by 1 liberty, but there's some sentes on the upper side. But that's the simple way to cash in on the aji. Best way is to go for more on the outside here. And this moment, one other player, several other players have done this to me, and this is the extent of my knowledge. And here. Once you get out of the comfort zone, the extent of opening joseki's knowledge, we expect to make some errors, and this was the first major misread that I had in the tournament. Very early in the first game, as usual. So here, this is totally viable locally for white, and black went for this. It looks very, very menacing. If this ko ends up happening, black has ko threats. Black has ko threats on the lower right corner, and this is very, very bad for white. Luckily for white, white has this very nice peeping move, and then if black goes for the same kind of liberties, black will still end up losing by 1 liberty. There's no time to connect that in Sente. So my opponent, super impressive. He was able to read out all of this first time. After the game, he told me it's the first time he saw this exact joseki. So very, very impressive. And so noticeably, this is the trickiest move of this whole thing. Black is going to have a very good result unless white plays the only move that holds the shape for white, and that's this move. That was a very, very key find. This way black doesn't gain a liberty and doesn't gain ice space. Man, it was super impressive. My opponent was able to read out this stuff first time he saw this. If I saw this the first time, there's no way I would have read out these things. Anyways, luckily for me, this did not turn out to be so bad. After black plays here, at least I was able to surround white into the corner. Now, needless to say, white has 2 very large corners for 35 plus points, and given how relatively unspeedy black was, a slight advantage to white at this moment. Although it's really very, very even. It's just a different kind of game. And so down here, decided to go for the strongest continuation possible. At this moment, black is very strong, very thick on the lower right, so I tried to do everything I could to get onto the right side of the thickness principle, make white play a lot of moves in the bottom side. Knight's move. This was a very, very difficult moment. Had to save the 1 stone on the outside, and when white blocked, this is very much danger land for black. Here are a couple of choices. This one, and I know there's another joseki that looks like this, and I think it was either a ko or black loses by 1 liberty. In the other joseki, black loses by 1 liberty, so thought it would be the same here. Anyways, went for this. White played here. and a good even exchange. Black lives, white lives. Opponent made a big slow move mistake here, and this move, it was most important to protect the left hand side. Perfect move was here. The left hand side was relatively weaker than the bottom, so at this moment we took a slight advantage in the game, but nothing too major. Black plays, I end up continuing to develop. Black has the thickness and a lot of potential, but white has so much territory. And coming back to one of the downsides of being a professional Go player, all of my opponents find it very fun, feels a very good sense of accomplishment whenever they beat me. So my opponents all have me at the center of their crosshairs, and here is this game is no exception. A few moves later, and I decide to Tanuki at this moment, thinking I was gonna survive, and yes, I had a defensive plan lined out. White plays here, I played the push, and white connects. Looks like a lot of danger. Clearly, had to find something, but luckily I had this move, which ends up just capturing the white 3 stones, and no matter what white does, it is the 3 stones are being captured, and we tanuki'd 1 move, and so this game ended with our victory. Looking back at the AI evaluations, at this moment the harassment we were able to do was pretty good, but the misread that we thought we had some kind of a code, but didn't have anything, and ended up this being slightly pretty even, but that led us to go down this unpromising route, slight behind, but when white played that relatively defensive move here, it was a slight advantage to us, and yeah, at the end here we were totally good. We made use of our defender's advantage, got a tanuki, and white was not able to actually get us. Still, it's not like an impossible game at this point, but went for the kill, and man, how good thing we had this Tetsuji lined up. Anyways, that was the first game. End of the game, my opponent said, well, really wanted to go for a big advantage in the opening, felt like really didn't have a lot of confidence in the later half of the game, which is very interesting. Anyways, my opponents are all geniuses. That was the first round of the New York tournament, and here is the second round. This one went I think a little bit smoother, although the game was a lot more even a lot more of the time. I played black, and in this case the first move that raised my eyebrow was this move by white. I was like, I was thinking, wow, the black corner looks pretty solid, and white comes right onto my face like this. Doesn't feel like it's that good, but it was totally AI approved, so that shows me how much I know. Not that much, and very interesting moment here. Decide to play another pressing move, hopefully trying to get something in sente ahead of time, but my ever so fighty opponent does not allow a simple easy sente to be achieved as expected and everything. So white peeps really didn't want to connect, fought the connect, played the press, probably left a little bit of aji, and this was keenly felt when I went onto the attack on the top side. White jumps, I jump, white jumps here, and all of a sudden this move is ladder breaking for the cut. Even if black jumps, the cut is already ladder broken. Feel free to verify this. yourselves. Anyways, so end up playing another move on the lower left right when the top was in a very heated battle. So clearly not the best plan, although luckily for black, the two black moves on the M line, even though they end up, basically not surviving, they didn't lose anything either, and having this honey connecting sente at least preserved my corner. Continued on the attack on the left hand side, and at this moment white played a very simple move here. At this moment I made my second customary misread. It's always another thing with being a professional player is people have expectations. I have high expectations of myself, and whenever I make mistakes that are especially mistakes in simple reading, well, not simple reading but hard reading, always feel very, very bad. Anyways, here is the situation. White's move here, totally AI approved. Went for this move. Looks like a Tetsuji, but unfortunately it was just the second major misread of the tournament early in the second game. A bit of a pattern, and usually, I'm just lucky if I only do 1 or 2 misreads a game. So at this moment, white could play the Satari and connect and hold this shape totally. Black, this connect Atari is sente, and that's what allows white to be able to hold this corner shape. In fact, play this press out more. It does not make much of a difference here. Slight disadvantage if white answers this totally right. In the game, white doesn't answer totally right, but it's still not good for black. It's still very, very even. White plays the hardest counter attack possible. Black has a lot of cutting points, but at least we have we have bitten off the corner. And at this moment white cuts, and unfortunately we bit off the corner, but we could not keep it. 2 ways. One is connect, or this move in the corner. This way is black trying to hold the outside. I judged this was probably not advisable. Later on, all these moves are sente, and white moves out here. Black is half cut on the outside. The white group has reinforcements, and the bottom doesn't seem so bad. There's no real cutting threat here. So did not pick this. I think I was lucky, or good judgment on my part to pick right, but this means white has kept the corner, and we have more attacking work to do. Luckily, black was able to find a very nice attacking, saving the 2 stones and counter-attacking white over here. At this moment, it was very, very it's a pretty wild fight at this moment. Black is just saving the group, and here I took a major gamble, or a major uncertainty. I played this move, almost daring white to play a move here, and this threat is to capture white's left versus the middle, top middle group. Unfortunately, this was very uncertain because I had no confidence white would be captured. In fact, white is more likely gonna live than not. I had another plan. The plan was here. I was gonna play this move. These moves get some liberties, and be able to play this kind of move. And even though this doesn't work right now, this kind of move, this kind of threat would make my move, this for example, sente. Now, if something like this happened, I would capture the 4 stones and I would win the game. And this threat, I was confident that if I got 2 free moves over here like this, I was gonna be able to capture white. But this plan was flawed. It runs into some very nice counterattacks here by white. This push in, and then this kind of push, just because white pushes there, the 2 black stones here have another bit of weakness, and that for example, white plays always all through over here, and even if something this probably works for black, but this kind of counterattack is very, very good for white. Anyways, so very complicated position in the game. White chickens out or plays a safety move, defends first or blinks first, and so here black has a bit of an black has clawed back all of the disadvantages. Now the game is pretty even. Both sides have 1 weak group. White actually has 2. White plays here and black plays this move. At this moment, this attack and defense is very tight, and the good thing for black here was this kind of territory surrounding move was very strong for black. This sequence is black can save all his cutting stones and connect to the outside group. This would leave white basically a dead shape. So there's something very strong for black on the upper right, and so that makes white very greedy and play the move on the right hand side. Totally understandable. But that left this middle group weakness for black. Here white pretty ingeniously finds a way to connect home, but this was already good enough for black, having some sente captures on the outside. Black has a bit of a lead, and this connect was very defensive, and at the end here black has a significant advantage. However, here I calculated went with a very safe plan. White tanukis, this right hand side is huge, and I calculated, made the second miscalculation of the game, but this one was much more consequential. Whenever you guys commit for a kill like I did, it basically can't go wrong, and this is no exception. I thought white was going to push, and I was going to be able to hold this position, especially with this cut possible on the outside. No, white cuts here, connect, and this way I still felt like I had white until white honeyed here, and I was like, oh my. If white Ataris, I was going to play here, the capture, and then play here, and then white is left with 1 eye. But here white's perfect Tetsuji move. He just Ataris on the first line and then jumps and then connects. Luckily for me, white made a follow-up mistake and then ended up dying there, and the game was basically white lost the entire top left corner, and the game ended quickly thereafter. So looking at the AI graph, very close. This moment, very good, very nice and interesting opening here. Lots of ladders, things like that. The attack didn't actually go very well. This was the mistake. Fortunately for us, white was not able to capitalize and get a more significant advantage. And black actually gained a little bit of an advantage around here, but because white was able to have this very nice counterattack over here, and just destroy the top hand side and let black run into the middle, it's just not worth it. This was very interesting, and if black were to block first, then black will lose the because black doesn't have this extending sente, black will not be able to capture white, and this is just total disaster. And I was right, black was not actually able to capture the left-hand side white group in one move. Some severe attacks, but nothing too much. So the game went into a bit of advantage for black. Being able to capture this was pretty good, and the last part, even though the top left, white was able to eke out a living, but it was just a barely alive shape, and even though black messed up on the capture, white ended up surviving. The resulting thickness was good enough, and black can still capture 4 stones later and still have a advantage coming out of that. Now white also made a reading error, and after the top left totally died, it was all over. So you know, a lot of misreads already so far, but these are like the smoothest games of the tournament. So again, all of my opponents, you know, try to win very, very hard. And so here was my 3rd game, and by the time I have reached game 3, I was already kind of spent, and this game went very, very bad. I will turn on the AI to show you guys. So this game I was playing white. First game as white in the tournament. As you guys know, AGA rules slightly favors white. But even though I did get white, and I generally like to play white more than black, I was not able to use any of this, nigiri advantage at all. Already a little bit bad, stuck on the 2nd line for many moves. Black plays a sustainable development, perfect. I even played the perfect invasion move or probing move here, but I was not able to follow this up. I thought very hard about what white could accomplish on the corner here. Very nice response by black. I was not thinking about the simple move here. I was thinking about this move and then living like this, and I was right in disregarding this variation. I would have survived with too little on the bottom. In hindsight, I would have taken this, and then if I knew that this shape would have been a lot better, I would have definitely taken this. I was not sure, and in fact, you know, I did think about this code, but it's just so hard to pick and choose. Anyways, my opponent also has an 8.2 AGA rating, so he's super strong as well. He's my City League teammate, and he probably was undefeated. Maybe he lost 1 game, whatever. Anyways, I played the strong move to play this one, and then push. This has to be played, but the next move slacked just a little bit. I played the Atari, and this didn't put quite as much pressure on black as I thought, and it didn't strengthen white's shape as much as I thought either. So the in and out led me into a very bad position here. And also what's worse is I used up a lot of time already to calculate this, and at the end here I was stuck with 3 different groups: outside, right hand side, and the corner, and ended up really bad. This move really weakened the outside. It lost me the L7 Sente, and this really made the situation very bad. If we turn off the AI here, you guys can readily see outside is in shatters, black is all connected on the lower left corner, and everything looks just very bad. So at least I was able to make this alive, just barely. Had to use this Hane Connect in Sente to do it, but 2 out of the 3 groups are dead, and this is just really bad. Look how big black's territory is on the left hand side. In addition, was really running low on time. The time was 40 minutes plus 10 seconds of move Fisher time. it's down to probably around 10-15 minutes at this moment. Before this moment, really trying to come up with something to make to muddy up the waters. Luckily, the waters were muddied up, and at this moment, went for a lot of offensive, threatening actions as white, but at all times, black had this very nice counterattack that would have really cemented black's advantage. He was not able to play that, and the game ended up being a lot closer at this moment. At this moment, I already felt like white had was a bit of a failure for losing the 2 stones in this attack, and not being able to do too much to black on the right hand side. But in hindsight, I had already succeeded, and white actually turned the game and then got a bit of an advantage. I had no idea, kept pressing, and just nothing happened for white here. Ended up dying with 2 more stones, and as a result here, this was very close, but slightly favored for black in the end game here. Luckily, both sides were down to 1 or 2 minutes. My opponent almost used up his entire time, and in the very end, multiple mistakes by both sides, I was able to eke out a 2.5 point win. Now this one, you guys saw the first stage when black was able to establish an advantage. Guys didn't see how big the advantage exactly was. It was, 10 points, not as bad as I felt at the time, for sure. So at around the middle here, this was about the moment where black always had this very nice counter-attacking middle knight's move to counter-attack and really do damage to white. Fortunately for me, black was not in counter-attacking mode. Black was in just win the game kind of mode, and as a result, here the first simple connect here would be better. And this way black can destroy more of the right hand side. This would have been the close game. At this moment, I didn't realize an advantage was already reached for white. Still went for more. Was not able to find any real Aji in the center, and this game ended up there was this squeeze by black over here on the second line, trying to co his way to a lot of territory destruction, and in the end game, it was best for black to go for that squeeze and best for white to fix the squeeze by playing in the middle here. So both sides had lots of opportunities to do this, and in the end I didn't take the opportunity. I took c19, 2 points reverse sente, and black ended up playing the Hane move, and just that sealed the deal. Neither side had a good count to see who was winning. Anyways, this was the toughest game. Was losing until the whole game, until the end game, but just very lucky to have came out the first day 3-0. And so on the second day, on round 4, this game was a great example of, I was playing black again, a great example of, as a pro, all of my opponents has their sights set on capturing my groups, on killing me. And what's worse, me as a Go personality, when my opponents have their eyesights, crosshairs on my groups, I'm usually thinking about trying to extract like half a point here, half a point there, like is it slightly bigger to play here and there, and so on. And so I played this move e3 thinking there is nothing going on, and very oblivious, and here white plays this very scintillating Tetsuji killing move. This was great, and again, at least one major misread per game, deaths per game, the pattern holds. This was great. Normally black plays something like this, but there's no way to play here. There's no more liberties. If only I didn't play this Hane move. And that Hane move was played mostly because I wanted when white goes for the capture of the 2 stones, I wanted this shape, which helps to protect against the cutting point. Like in the best case, it was maybe good for 1 point. So, oh my, yeah, this move, Ko, couldn't avoid Ko. I was like, damn, you know, here should have been when white played this Gote move, which I felt was Gote move, but really it's a Sente move. Here, you know, I should have had the sense of danger, but I just did not. As a professional player, if you don't have this, you know, sense of danger, it's well, you see what happens. I ended up totally dead. Now, luckily for me, the game was still very, very close, and this game was quite wild. For the first game of the day, when, you know, theoretically I was very rested, this one had a lot of very complicated, hard to evaluate and judge situations. Here I went for the attack on the right and gave white a great opportunity to capture a huge amount on the left. Hard to, like, Black is not totally dead, but white is probably not totally dead either. So very, very complicated position. And so luckily for me, and here, best move around here, ended up going for more complications. The game was really, really complicated. Played here, and white's, in hindsight, white's losing move was here, but during the game, we had no idea. And white went for the capture against the 3 stones in the middle. Luckily for black, was able to cut, and white did not take the 3 stones, and some variation like this one where the right hand side gets into a lot of danger. But the more important thing at this moment was white plays here on the top right. The most important thing was the left hand side, and this, even though I died earlier, that group had a lot of liberties, and as a end result here, this was going to be a lot of liberties for black, at least 1 step co-advantage for black on the left hand side, maybe 2 steps, and so the dead group came back to life, and that's how this game was won. But how lucky was I that this group ended up this ended up being the AI blue move. And how lucky was I that a totally overlooked life and death situation ended up not being so bad, and it was actually, I didn't even have a disadvantage at this point. What a lucky thing. I did not. Could I have read this out? Yes, of course. I didn't even have the sense of danger to really see or start thinking about that. Anyways, when my opponents are thinking about killing my group, I was thinking about getting the biggest points on the board, and there you go, crosshairs on my group. And so here, at this moment, I played the, this is round 5, lucky to have gotten 4 victories so far, and this was the only other undefeated player, a super strong visiting player from China. I don't know if he felt he's so strong that he plays this jokester opening against us, or if he just doesn't want to do the AI, doesn't want to play AI approved openings. Anyways, this was about 2 points extra of disadvantage for black to having played these middle of the board moves. Doesn't affect the end result that much, and immediately again here got myself into some trouble. Very nice squeezing move by black. I ended up playing the strongest moves possible, and already a very, very scrappy game. Luckily, I had some scrappy game experience, and this game was not actually I actually did have a bit of an advantage coming to this areas, but unfortunately lost it all in this fight. Very complicated fight, and at this moment, this G3 was a bit of a mistake. Should have just played here. Just lost a couple of needless points, and very difficult, complicated, complex middle game. This sequence was actually okay by black, although this was just a lot of territory value. Ended up going for the attack against black's middle, but black is threatening white at the same time as well. Ended up getting white to defend here, and this part I went for the kill. This was really nerve-wracking. Ended up being able to figure everything out. This was very treacherous, and breathed a huge sigh of relief. Thought the game was over. It was, but my opponent was again really strong, and ended up getting a ko over here against this group. I was like, oh man, this was game 5. I had a lot of coffees in the day. This was a ko, and I ended up not having a good ko threat. I ended up having to play a big move and let the one-step ko become a no-step ko. Luckily for me, black was not able to get anything better than just resolving the ko on the right. Ended up holding this game. This game was the eventual tournament winner. He won on tie breaks, but well, I was just good for me that this guy winning the Go tournament is not my fault. Well, okay, it's my. Yeah, because I won the game, so clearly it's not my fault, and it's my opponent's fault for not having given me enough SOS tie breaks to win. I didn't realize how much advantage I had at around this moment, and if I knew, I would have a lot of this also depends on white being able to play this move and maybe having Sente on the right against the black group here or not. It's very close. Anyways, fighting became very wild. Ended up losing this move. Really, this move should have been here, played here, lost all my advantage. Yeah, of course, doing this, hard to tell either way. And so in hindsight, this game was actually, I spent most of this game like, in the lead or well in the lead. And in fact, even though this ko happened at the end, it just was not a ko that my opponent could have realistically won. And ended up I even played it safe at the end. I played a few, safety end games here. And on the lower right, I didn't play what I felt was the best move here to block. Ended up playing a bit of a chicken move. I even, that's not what I recommend, right? I'm a professional player. I'm supposed to, play the best. I think is whatever I think is best, but I just ended up being so, games were so tough that I just really wanted the game to be over with. And by the end of the day, last round, round 6, when I played Jeremy, which I described as a brick wall, really fizzled out. And in this one, I remember how, at least 1 or 2 big misreads a whole, each game, and to have misreads when your opponents always have their crosshairs on you, when they're very excited to be able to play and beat you as a professional, is so dangerous. And really fizzled out over here when white, a very nice headbutting move here. I was, and so here, when my opponents have their crosshairs on my head, I had my thinking on, let me extend, maybe get another squeeze and threaten the right hand side. That was one crosshair too many, one sniper shot, headshot too much that I could not withstand. And at this moment, I had to give this up. I was expecting something like this Atari, this kind of thing. When white went for the direct Atari, I wasn't able to get the outside exchange, so somehow that prompted me to disregard all sense of danger and connect. And it plays. This was so simple, and this was too simple to. Anyways, yes, very simple. I had 3 or 4 liberties, and it was just really over. This was me fizzling out on the last round. Okay, and so made, it's the last round, so there's no sense saving any energies for anything, so ended up really trying to make a contest after the death, killing the right hand side and surrounding the right as much as possible, playing the end game as much as possible. And unfortunately, the advantage was too great after the death. Ended up fighting this ko all the way to the end, AGA rules. Ended up making a point at C19. Ended up losing by 6.5 at the end. Man, really fizzled out in the end, but in hindsight, of course, the only thing that makes, again, in conclusion, so ended up getting second place on tie breaks, took some cash, so it was, a rewarding weekend after all. But to conclude, the biggest pain, the biggest problem of being a professional player is that all of my opponents are geniuses, and they all have their crosshairs set on me whenever they play. They're always very excited, and my opponents, again, I stress, my opponents are geniuses. In this game, the only thing that made me feel better was look, Jeremy playing white here. Jeremy hits the blue AI move here, and also another blue AI move with this shoulder hit. And so the only thing, a couple more. This was also the blue move, and a couple more blue moves later, and I was not able to stand this. Made me feel a lot better now that I saw that how many of these blue moves Jeremy, key blue moves that were hit by Jeremy. So really don't feel much, don't really feel bad about losing this game at all. Super tough as usual. Even if I didn't fizzle out, even if I was on my best conditions, best go playing conditions ever, I'm not sure I could have withstood those key, clutch moves by white. Super great game by white. Ended up being much closer than it should have been, but let's just say there's absolutely no regrets at all on this one. Totally deserved loss. Not even contemplating anything possibility of winning here. Lastly, guys, feel all of my opponents out there, if you ever played me, feel good about yourself. You are all geniuses for being my opponent. And so at the end of the day, that's the biggest problem of being a professional Go player, but it's also the best sense of accomplishment or anything as a professional player at the same time. All of my opponents are geniuses, so that also makes me a genius as well. If you guys ever beat me in Go anywhere, anytime, feel happy. You beat a professional player, and you are a genius among geniuses. Lastly, leave me a note about what you think. Good problem to have or not. Leave a comment. See you guys in the next one.